Welcome back to Leeds. Lately, it's been a while since we've done a live stream, but tonight we're watching England. A little bit of the break from the stressful Leeds United content. Hopefully, we'll have a few people popping in here before we actually kick off. But England play Ghana tonight. Welcome, Ryan. Good to have you. Looks like not that many people are aware, but hopefully people are getting the notification. I put a post out in the channel posts earlier, and I should be back on it with the transfer videos and stuff as well now. So, welcome to those of you who are joining us. We're about 7 or so minutes away from kickoff now, and we're looking to watch England versus Ghana. Hopefully, if England win, that should guarantee our position in the next phase of the World Cup 2026. A few recognisable names for Ghana, but overall they aren't massively strong in terms of African sides at the moment. You're looking at more Senegal and Morocco, who are the best of the best in Africa at the moment. Ghana have a couple of good players, but aren't particularly in great form in the last year or so. Of course, Antoine Semenyo, first half of the season at Bournemouth, second half of the season at Man City, is their star player, if you will. The national anthem's starting now. Welcome, whoever's joining us. Welcome. It's going to be a nice chilled stream, especially because it's absolutely sweltering hot. So hopefully we don't have to get too stressed out. It should just be a nice, calm game, but it also doesn't happen too often. Ex-Leeds United Jed Spence starts the game tonight as well. We'll go through that lineup very, very shortly. First of all, the Ghana lineup, they look to be lining up in a 5-4-1. Asare, who plays in the domestic Ghanaian league, is in goal. The back five of Urenki at right wing back, Sinea, Ajete, Apoku are the three centre backs, with Mensah at left wing back. Then Antoine Semenyo, of course. Sibo is the number 8. The number 5 is, of course, he who must not be named, for obvious reasons, for being a horrible human being. And then, of course, Jordan Ayew out on the left, and Iñaki Williams up front, brother of Nico Williams, who plays for Spain, by the way. And thank you, Ryan, for your continued support, for being a member for 12 months. Ryan saying a brilliant live stream, absolutely magnificent. Thank you, Ryan, for your continued support. It's always, always appreciated on the channel. And of course, Ryan will be moderating for us tonight. Not that we'll need it at the moment because we've only got a few people in here, but hopefully as the game goes on, we have a few more people joining us. I mean, I think I did mention it on the transfer videos, and they've got a few views. But welcome, everybody. Let's switch over to the Leeds United. So much of a force of habit that. I'll tell you what. I'll have to manually change that. Here we are. The England lineup then for tonight's game. Jordan Pickford is in goal for England. A back four of Reece James, Ezri Konsa, Mark Gay, and of course former Leeds United defender for a season on loan, Jed Spence, is over at left back. In the midfield, Anderson and Rice are the two pivots in that midfield, just in front of the defence. Madueke, Bellingham, and Gordon from right to left across the midfield attacking trio, with, of course, who else but Harry Kane up front as well. All of the England substitutes as well, shaking hands with all the officials, heading back to the bench now as well. Said Martinez, the referee to tonight from Honduras. Walter Lopez and Christian Ramirez, also Honduras, are the two linesmen. In the VAR, we've got American Armando Villarreal. We've got Mexican Eric Miranda. We've got Saudi Arabian, and it went off before I could get to his name. My goodness me, it's hot. Again, just go through the England lineup for anybody new joining us. Jordan Pickford, Jed Spence, Mark Gay, Ezri Konsa, Reece James make up the back four. Declan Rice, Elliot Anderson are the two holders. In front of those, Anthony Gordon out on the left, Jude Bellingham through the middle, Noni Madueke out on the right, and Harry Kane captains the side up top. Bench, of course, Dean Henderson, James Trafford, O'Reilly, Stones, Saka, Rashford, and a lot more players that can make a difference. Ghana's lineup on the screen for you now as well. Back five for them. Asare, Urenki, Sinea, Ajeti, Opoku, and Mensah make up the back five. Semenyo, Sibo, he who must not be named, and Ayew are the midfield, and Iñaki Williams is up front for Ghana. Fatawu, by the way, of course, I don't know if I don't think he still plays for Leicester, but formerly of Leicester City. But what everybody wants to see is the England lineup, so I'll pop that on the screen now. Thomas Tuchel being shown now. I wonder if he actually managed to see the national anthems this time, because last time he said that there was about 50 photographers in front of him and he couldn't see. Carlos Queiroz, of course, is the Ghana manager. He's averaged 35% possession in all of his World Cup games that he's ever managed across all of the different nations he's managed. And that kind of sets a precedent for the way that they're going to play tonight. It seems like it'll be a backs-against-the-wall performance from Ghana tonight against England. Remember, guys, if you want to get your Leeds United kit, the away kit that's been launched recently, head over to the link in the description, and if you buy it through that, I get a small affiliate kickback, which just helps me out at no extra cost to you. However, I am getting prepared now to start the timer as Declan Rice sets up to take the kickoff. This is a bit of a trial run tonight. And if it's not that busy in the chat, we'll maybe miss the other group game and I'll watch that separately and just make transfer videos. And then maybe when it gets to the knockouts, we might have a bit more interest. However, we are off here in this one. Hi, Tim. Welcome. Welcome to everybody who's joining us. It's just going to be a casual one tonight. Just nice. I mean, it's hot. It's hot for everybody. Header away by Jed Spence. Is Anthony Gordon, now of Barcelona, formerly of Newcastle, of course, and Everton. Ball all the way back to Pickford now, and a little bit of a chance to get our feet on the ball and grow into this game. Here's Elliot Anderson. Declan Rice. Across now to Ezri Konsa of Aston Villa. Jed Spence, now Gordon. Tackled, though, there. But England have got the ball back. It's so difficult to say to not say Leeds have got the goal back. Leeds have done this, Leeds have done that. It's difficult. Hi, Ben. Welcome to Ben and welcome to Tim as well, who've both been members for a long time now. Ben has been a member for 29 months. Evening, Max and all. Hope you are well. Thank you very much. Ben, thanks for joining us. Welcome to you both. Welcome to everybody who's joining us. We'll see how busy it gets, and then we'll decide on the last group stage game whether it's worth streaming or whether we just wait till the knockouts. At least I will be able to sit down and sit downstairs. 15 months as well for Tim, so great contribution. I appreciate each and every one of you for sticking around and supporting the channel. Here's Gay. Now Spence. Ball out wide to Anthony Gordon now. Jed Spence. England at the moment playing a slow, methodical game, but you can see that already Ghana is sitting further and further back here, which suggests to me that, like I said at the start, it's going to be a bit of a backs against the wall performance from them. But everybody knows it's difficult to maintain that for 90 minutes. Here's Madueke. Now Mark Gay. Apparently, and I didn't catch the bit where it happened, but apparently before the game they asked Thomas Tuchel why he'd opted for Mark Gahey over John Stones, and he just gave a straight up answer rather than kind of flirting around the edges and not even really giving any hints and giving a very political football manager answer. Tuchel just said he's more agile and quicker than John Stones, so it makes sense for him to be in this game. But that's all we needed to know, and it's good to know he's thinking. Reece James, Bellingham, back across to Mark Gay now. Here's Konza. Ball out wide now to Noni Madueke. Madueke facing up against his defender. Back there to Konza now. So far, what I'm learning is... Oh, here's Bellingham as he goes forward there. Good little pass through. Oh, poor pass from Bellingham. That's going to go out for a throw. What I'm noticing already is the Ghanaians are very well organised, very well structured, and are not going to give much room for England to play through the lines. So it's going to be down to players like Bellingham, like Madueke, like Gordon to make something happen. Bellingham with his passing range, Madueke and Gordon with their ability to go past people. Here's Semenyo. It's been given all the way back now, back to the defenders again. Hi CB, welcome. Member for 32 months. Again, very, very much appreciated. Long ball over the top there. Well offside for an Inaki Williams there. Yeah, well offside there for Inaki Williams. At least 2 yards off. You can tell because the England players immediately just had no kind of worry about that at all. One thing I don't like is everybody who's ever won a World Cup has a gold patch. And I think that it should just be the most recent winners. He's not bad in Inaki Williams. He's had a good career over in Spain in La Liga. He's, like I said at the start, his brother, of course, Nico Williams, plays for the Spain national team, is one of their wonder kids at the moment. Sibo has made a foul there on Madueke, and it's a free kick to England with a chance to deliver the ball into the box here. Yeah, just sticks a leg out there, Sibo, the central midfielder for Ghana, and Madueke goes over it. Chance for England to put the ball in the box here in this early phase of the game. Declan Rice seems to be the one who has commandeered the ball in this situation. He's got Madueke out to his right-hand side. Nobody marking Madueke with a run down the wing. And it seems as though Kane, Bellingham, Gordon, all on the edge of the box, ready to attack this. Ball comes into the box. First man and headed away. Reece James heads it back now to Rice. Now Madueke. Madueke's giving it straight to Ayew there. Poked inside and then taken away by Gordon. Good work from there, from Gordon there to get back like that and just take the ball away from the toes and take himself back out to his position. It's good defensive work. Because I know that it sometimes can be tempting for players who know that they're in a situation where they're going to be attacking a lot to kind of be a little bit complacent in the game and think that they're just going to be going forward all the time. But Gordon being very alive there to the situation, getting back, taking the ball off the toes of the Ghanaians and keeping England flowing. Here's Kane with a switch out to the right-hand side for Madueke. Good touch by him. Looks to create an opportunity here, but has to go all the way back now to Ezri Konza. Mark Gay. Ooh, Bellingham, I think, took a hit to the face there, and I think the Ghanaian centre half as well was wiped out. Yeah, looked like he took a whack in the face there. Our centre-back partnership of... no, never mind. I was going to say our centre-back partnership of Mark Gay and Ezri Konza both won a European Cup this season, but of course Mark Gay now plays for Manchester City, doesn't he? Not Crystal Palace. That was over a year ago that transfer happened. I don't know where I got that from. Looks like it's heavily raining there, actually. It's difficult to see until you actually look at the dugouts. Loose touch there from the Ghanaian player, but he's somehow got the ball back fortuitously for him. Ball down the right-hand side here, looking to try and cross it in, but good defensive work there from Elliot Anderson, just shielding the ball out of play there from the Ghanaian number 26. Yeah, he does well there. He does do well, Anderson. Here's Konza. Just carries the ball over the halfway line. Here's Gay. Look, most of this game is going to be played in the Ghanaian half, and we've just got to be alive to the fact that they might try to counter-attack us. Is Anthony Gordon. Tackled and then cleared. Ayu's chasing that one down, but Gay's got the time to knock it back. Declan Rice with a long switch out to his Arsenal teammate Noni Madueke. Tackled though. And it's going to be a throw into England. Boston is more like England than England at the moment, says Tim. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind it if it was a little bit colder here. At the moment, I'm so hot and sweaty. Thing is, I'm upstairs, so the heat rises. I've been working from home all day, so I've got a big tower computer here that's been on all day, so that creates its own heat. So, and the only fan I've got has to keep the camera cool from overheating. So, at the moment, I'm rather hot, but hopefully England make me feel a bit better about it. Here's Konza. I think what I've noticed, CB, what you're saying there about how does Ayew get picked for Ghana, who's been rubbish at Leicester, I think that what you'll find is that the national teams of countries like Ghana and Algeria and places like that don't necessarily have the luxury of not selecting players who've been historically okay for them once they go to lower league clubs or once they go over to Saudi Arabia or whatever. Hence why you'll see Riyad Mahrez and other players who you thought, oh, I forgot about them. They don't have the luxury of having anybody who's better than them on the bench, and Ayew is their all-time top cap maker now as well. So it's they kind of have to, because they don't have anyone that's better than him. Ball across now to Reece James. Clearance there by Ghana, but that's the best move of the game so far from England. Madueke fashioning a little bit of room to get the ball to Reece James, who I almost called Dan James for a second, force of habit. And he just squares it across the box, but taken away there by a good piece of defensive work from the Ghanaian defence. Yes, CB. Gahey out wide now to Reece James again. Anderson. Bellingham back to Gahey again. Now Jed Spence. Gordon fouled from behind there. That's going to be a free kick to England again. Similar to the other free kick that we had, but over on the opposite side. But this time it's out on the left, so it's. Look, I think it's maybe just within shooting range. Over on the left-hand side for a right footer. It's a long way out, though. It is a long way out. So if you're looking at it realistically, you're looking for the goalkeeper to spill it here and someone to be following up. So it's England have got to make sure they are really following in on top of the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper who didn't play the last game has only just kind of been thrusted into the starting lineup and is only good enough to kind of play in the domestic Ghanaian league. So it's probably a good idea to try and test him early on and just hope that England have got players following in. Bellingham's offside at the moment, but he waits. Declan Rice shoots. Blazed over the bar in the end. Yeah, I think he almost hits it too hard there. It was always rising, that one from Rice. It was always rising over the bar. Yeah, I mean, it's a very clean strike of the ball, but it's not. It was never going to trouble the goalkeeper. Got to get his head over it more. Clearance here by Asare in the Ghanaian goal, away by Reece James. Harry Kane up for the header. His header goes all the way through to the goalkeeper, but he was caught by the Ghanaian centre back Ajeti, and it's he is holding his head here. Yeah, it's a head. Yeah, I can't tell whether it's an elbow or a head to the back of Kane's head there. Should be all right. He's getting back up now. John Terry in the crowd there. Well, in the corporate box. Yeah, Harry Kane's been told that he's going to have to leave the pitch temporarily. It'll be for a minute or so. I know. They are allowing him to carry on. Usually at this World Cup, they've been asking the players so that there's not as much time wasted. When they go off, they'll have to be off for a full minute to be able to, before they come back on again, to try and stop people from wasting as much time. It still doesn't solve the goalkeeper problem, but here we are. Good tackle there from Declan Rice. Ball into the box now. Elliot Anderson goes to shoot. Madueke at the back post. It's cleared away there. It's going to be a throw into England instead of a corner. Yeboah played for Ghana? Yeah. What a player he was. Not that I remember him playing for Leeds, but I've heard tell and I've seen footage. Really good pass from Reece James to Anthony Gordon. Gordon plays it back to the edge. Anderson. Gordon again. Good ball to Jed Spence. Spence tries to play it back. Here's Declan Rice. He goes to shoot. It's going to be an England corner. I think what you wanted there from Jed Spence tried to play it back low across the box. But I think in a situation like that, you're never going to get that ball through all the bodies. And so what I think you've got to do is when you get in that position by the byline, when you've got the players that England have got, you've just got to try and hang it up at the back post. Not that much power on it. Lift it into the air. Let it float towards the back post and hope that someone can come in and attack it. Because it's difficult when the defenders are underneath it. They've got no momentum going for them. Declan Rice then with the corner kick. He said he can envision every time he takes a set piece, he can envision it ending up in the back of the net. Whether that's a corner or a free kick. This one doesn't. Cleared away by Ghana. Reece James lets that one out for a throw-in under pressure from Antoine Semenyo, who, like I said at the start, has had a fantastic season for both Bournemouth and Man City. He now aims to do something at the World Cup for Ghana. Here's Declan Rice. Sorry, Bellingham. Now, Reece James. Does that, holds it up at the back post, but headed away there. That's a free kick there. Konza was holding Ayew, adjudged by the referee, so that's going to be a free kick to Ghana, and the pressure from England will lapse for a moment here. Yeah, look, I mean, there's always going to be moments where we aren't going to maintain the pressure for the entire 90 minutes. And people are going to make mistakes, get frustrated in a game like this where you really are trying to break down that low block of the Ghanaians. So it's important that we don't get too frustrated. We stay patient. Gay just does the ailing flop there and gets England a free kick. Yeah, free kick to England there. Taken quickly. Pickford out to Konza, and now England carry the ball forward again. But yeah, like I say, it's important to maintain concentration in a time like this, because if you are going to be... If you've got everybody in front of the ball and you're going to be on the attack pretty much all game, you've got to be alive to those moments where you make a bad pass, because there's bound to be one or two times, even as good as England's players are, there's going to be a couple of times where you lose the ball. It's a bad pass. It's a mistake. Someone gets caught in two minds. You've got to have that rest defence and that awareness of where to go when you're being counter-attacked. And I think so far we've shown that with Anthony Gordon getting back, Gay getting his body in on that last one and just winning England the free kick. So we just need a bit of innovation at the other end now. Here's Konza. Just walking the ball forward at this point. Now Anderson. Spence. Anderson once more. Now Gahey. There isn't an England player anywhere. They weren't even as far back as the edge of the centre circle on the Ghanaian side, but there was a foul there on an England player, and it's going to be a free kick. Free kick to England. Here's Madueke. Now Reece James. Too close to the goalkeeper with the cross. He tried an early cross from deep, but too close to the goalkeeper there, and Asare can just catch that and fall on it. Look, I mean, from a Ghanaian point of view so far, I think they've played well. I think they've done exactly what they set out to do, which is really to sit in and be tough. Small gaps between the teammates. Clash of heads there. Reece James and Ayew. Reece James, I think, is going to come off worse in that situation because it was the back of Ayew's head, but it was actually Reece James's temple that took a hit there. So I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked if there's a bit of a concussion substitution here, because that didn't look pleasant, and it was in the temple as well. Hi, Hugh. Hugh Davis saying, of course, one of our members. Hello, Max from Patum Thani, Thailand. Your watch-alongs are the best. Thank you so much, Hugh. I imagine it's probably just as hot out there as it is here at the moment, which we don't get to say very often. However, of course, good to have you with us again. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and I do keep nearly saying Leeds, and I nearly say Dan James instead of Reece James and all that sort of stuff, but at the moment, 20 minutes in, seems to be a hydration break, and oh no, there is no hydration break yet. They'll still wait. He's saying 2 minutes and then he'll do it. Yeah, what's the point when there's already a stoppage in play? Could just have it now. Yeah, they're saying it's not hot at all there as well. So there's not even any need for a hydration break. But whilst this is happening and the players are down, I'm going to have a fan break. You could call this the fan cam. Sorry, I think I'm a bit delirious in the heat. Actually, I don't know why I'm saying that. I would make jokes like that if I was completely in perfect condition. Yeah, I mean, look, there's stoppages in play for the hydration breaks. I think have just been a bit ridiculous, especially when they're not actually needed. Look, I get it in certain situations if it's ridiculously hot, but at the moment, it's just, I don't think, needed. Instead, it's quite a mild temperature there. It's been raining all day. It's perfect football conditions, Shearer was saying. So I just don't really understand why they're doing it this way. Hopefully, you can't hear too much fan on the what do you call it, microphone at the moment. But God, I need to cool down every now and again. It's so hot. Looks like we are going to get back underway again shortly. Both players seem to be okay. Both players seem to be all right. I think the referee's kind of telling. Well, I don't know. I think it's either going to be a drop ball or they're just going to kick it back to the goalkeeper here. No, they're just going to carry on playing. Saying Reece James can come back on. So currently, Ghana down to 10 men. Reece James has just come back on, so England are back up to 11. All right, thanks, Tim. That's good. Ooh, it was a bit all over. It was a bit all over Gahey there. I think that was Urenki there, but it's an England throw-in. Here's Declan Rice. Ayu's back on now. With that bandage on his head, he just looks like he's got the haircut that a lot of the South American players get, which, like basically what Richarlison's got, where it's like bald up to a point and then it's all just white blonde, but it is a bandage. It just looks like he's got one of those haircuts. Here's Anderson, who at the moment is having to drop into the back three. However, that's a good ball forward there to Madueke. Headed away, though. Bellingham picks it back up. Now Anderson. Gay now. Jed Spence. Gordon's pass there is cut out, but here's Declan Rice. Here's Sebo. Cleared against his own player, so England will get the ball back. Here's Reece James. Bellingham back to James. Anderson. Bellingham. Good feet from him. Yeah, not really much room for him, though, to do anything. He plays the ball back across to Reece James now. Here's Madueke on the right-hand side, looking to try and fashion something. James with a deep cross into the box, headed away around the penalty spot area. But England do just keep winning the ball back immediately here. It must be up to 75-80% possession for England in this one so far. Here's Rice. Kane. Ball down the line from Ghana is straight into touch, and it's going to be an England throw-in. Now we've got a hydration break, which, of course, as has been the case for the rest of the World Cup, all of the fans are booing. All of the fans are booing for this. Nobody is happy with the hydration breaks, especially in games where it's absolutely not needed at all. 86.4% possession, says Tim. Shout out to Archie. Welcome, Archie. Everybody go and follow Archie's YouTube channel if you haven't already. That's Thunderbolt UK 2.0. Go and follow Archie's channel, everybody. Yeah, I mean, look, at the moment, it's so congested in that Ghanaian penalty area that there is not much room to do anything. But England are just not playing. Look, I don't necessarily think we have to play with a massive sense of urgency. But like Tim's saying, a distinct lack of shots and efforts on goal. Have a pop. Test the goalkeeper. We haven't tested the goalkeeper yet. Have a shot from the edge of the box. When there's nothing on, when things aren't opening up, you can afford to, in a game like this, have a crack. Because with the quality that we've got on the ball in those situations, you've got Declan Rice, you've got Harry Kane, you've got Jude Bellingham, all of who can easily put the ball in the back of the net. And we've seen so many times from the edge of the box, from outside the area. Have a pop in that way, which don't get desperate, but you've got to mix things up. You've got to have some pops from the edge of the box, which makes them and forces them to close you down a little bit more outside the area. And then when you're looking at players like Madueke and Gordon, they need a little bit more support from the fullbacks. They need somebody saying, they need somebody overlapping them. Madueke and Gordon need a fullback overlapping them so that they can get the ball to them, hang that ball up towards the back post and get a Kane or a Bellingham attacking it. At the moment, it's all been possession without penetration, and England need to change that in the next couple of minutes. Because at the moment, we look quite flat in terms of actual chance creation. Players all heading out back onto the pitch now, so I imagine the game will be underway very, very shortly. Can I tell you who's on the bench for England, Archie? Yeah, I will just double check that now. It basically is the entire rest of the squad. But on the bench for England is Nico O'Reilly, John Stones, Bukayo Saka, Marcus Rashford, Trevor Chalobah, Dean Henderson, Jordan Henderson, Dan Burn, Kobbie Mainoo, Morgan Rogers, Ollie Watkins, Eberechi Eze, Ivan Toney, James Trafford, and Jarrell Kwanzaa. That is the bench for England. I mean, Ghana have got some better players that aren't starting on the bench. Like, why Ayew is starting over Abdul Fatawu, who's the one who played for Leicester when they got promoted back to the Premier League. Brandon Thomas Asante is probably better than some of the players they have out there. Ernest Nwama as well. He's not really getting much of a look in. He's young, but he plays for Lille, I believe, in the French league. Yeah, it's there's a few players where I would have said they probably would have done better starting them, but here's Jed Spence. Now Gordon, slide tackle there and taken away. Yeah, it's obviously not yet, but I can see Gordon or Madueke being swapped out for the likes of Marcus Rashford in the second half. Long ball forward from Ghana. Semenyo challenge for the header, but it's going to bounce all the way through to Jordan Pickford. As Pickford knocks the ball out to Jed Spence. Here's Anderson. Poor ball from him. It goes past Bellingham and straight to the Ghanaian fullback, and it's going to be a foul by Konza. Free kick to Ghana here. This is one of these games where it's going to be very, very, very frustrating because I think Ghana will be totally happy with a draw. What was the game in? What was the score in? Yeah, so Ghana versus Panama was 1-0 to Ghana. So realistically, Yeah, realistically, you're looking at them just getting a draw and being fine to being fine to try and get through to the next round. So they will just be playing for a draw. So it's not going to be as exciting as the Croatia game. This one, there's no chance of that. But if England do get a goal at some point before half time, Ghana will have to come out and will have to start trying to attack, which was perhaps when we will see more goals in this game. So hopefully England score before half time. Here's Anderson. Now James. Here's Rice. Anderson. Madueke. Madueke cutting inside, but they're double and tripling up against him. Bellingham goes to shoot. Reece James back to Bellingham. It was blocked. Spence, little chipped ball out to the right-hand side, back to Madueke. Every time Madueke tries to get past somebody, it's a good ball from him, away by Thomas Partey there. It's good tackle there, but Mensah's still got the ball, and that's going to be a foul against Ghana. And they'll get more and more up for it the more they defend like this, Ghana. But you can see that every time either Gordon or Madueke go past a man, there's like 2 or 3 players that come over and stop them being able to do anything. Which is why you need a full-back drifting over up the wing and a Bellingham drifting over to that side to help out so that it's 3v3 or 3v2 from an England persuasion. You've got to kind of create overloads, and at the moment we're not doing that. Here's Gordon up against Sinea. Crosses it into towards the middle of the goal, but it's headed away. Cleared again now by Ghana, all the way through to Pickford. But it's more promising from England, more chances in the last couple of seconds than we've had for the most part in the rest of the half. However, I still don't think we've registered a shot on goal. Good ball down the line here to Gordon, but another good sliding tackle by the Ghanaian fullback. Ball across the defence now. Bellingham chasing down Madueke as well. Oh, poor touch there by the Ghanaian left back, and it's going to be a throw into England. Here's Reece James. Passes completed. England 242, Ghana 32. That's less than a pass a minute, by the way. Here's Gay. Now Gordon. Across now to Gahey and back to him against once more. Here's Spence out on the left-hand side. This is what we need to do, create a bit more over there. You can see that Rice drifts over when that situation happens, but the ball just does not get moved fast enough. And that's when you just lose it. Gahey, close one there as he was being pressed, but now England might be able to come back forward. Here's Gordon. Tackled again. I tell you what, Sinea absolutely has Gordon's number. Gordon cannot get a sniff out of Sinea. Sinea plays for Auxerre in France. They were just saying on the commentary. It's not knowledge I actually have. Held up towards the back post by Madueke, but this is exactly what I said. This is exactly what I said about holding that ball up, standing it up at the back post. That's exactly what Madueke did. When he got past him, he stood it up at the back post. It's a little bit too high for Declan Rice, but he gets a header on it, and it's back towards that. It's back towards that far post. Is exactly what England need to do, and I've been saying it for this whole half. Here's Spence. Konsa now, carrying the ball over halfway. Looking for options here. Bellingham. Out wide to Reece James. Gay now. Yeah, Ayew is constantly, as Shearer's just pointed out, Ayew is constantly buzzing around Elliot Anderson because he knows Anderson is that outball from the defence. However, Gay does well there to win that, but it's a handball. Ball out to the right-hand side here. Sanea's touch is poor, and it's a throw-in to England. Hi, Penny. I hope everything's all right. Welcome. Good to have you back. Here is Mark Gahey. Elliot Anderson now. Ball out wide to Reece James. Now Bellingham. Back to Anderson again. Anderson tackle. Anderson fouls Ayew, and it's going to be a free kick. Free kick now to Ghana. Konza's sorry, not Konza. I think Anderson got himself a yellow card there. My goodness me, it's hot. Header away by Gay. Declan Rice skips past his man here, his fellow number 4, looking for a passing option. I think again things slow down because Ghana are so quick to get back in. Gordon back to Anderson. Across now to Ezri Konza of Aston Villa. Ball forward from him, headed away. Good win there by Anderson. Now Gordon. Offside there as I think it was Bellingham maybe coming back from an offside position. Yeah, it was Bellingham as the ball was coming forward. Bellingham was offside. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he makes subs at half-time here because England are not doing it. And I think one of the... A, we're not moving it fast enough in midfield. And B, the wingers aren't playing direct enough when they do get the ball. Because the one time that Madueke really knocked the ball past his fullback and ran, got to the byline and stood it up, was when Declan Rice had that header. Which it wasn't a gilt-edged opportunity or anything, but it was a chance to have a shot at goal, and we need more of that. And so, it's perhaps Rashford might be a bit more direct. Declan Rice chasing back. Declan Rice is going to get himself a yellow card here. I think he was a bit over-eager there. Yeah, Apoku down on the ground. Seems to be the amount of acting he's putting in of the pain of it that's why that Declan Rice has got a yellow card there. Genuinely, one thing that, in fact, no, that was on his foot. But, no, actually, it was on his ankle. If he wasn't wearing, and this is one of my pet peeves about modern football, if he wasn't wearing pissy little shin pads that are like, honestly, like a box of cigarettes on his shin, then I don't know, like, he would be absolutely fine if he just wore normal shin pads. Just wear normal shin pads with ankle protectors. Just, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, Semenyo's done really well to get past his man there. Here's Semenyo inside the box. Good tackle by Reece James. And now Anderson trying to get the ball away from Ayew. Forcing Ayew backwards here. Does well there, Anderson. And then Madueke coming to help out. And eventually Anderson gets a foot on it. Shout out to Hugh Davis, by the way. Thank you so much, Hugh, for the £10 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. Make sure everybody likes the super chats as well. Yeah, really, really appreciated that, Hugh. I'll leave that on the screen for a minute as well. Semenyo then with the throw-in. Eze Konza and Tony Watchalong on the bench. Throw-in into the box. Headed away there by Reece James. Picked up again by Semenyo. First kind of spell of attacking pressure from Ghana all game here, and they've won themselves a corner with the deflection off Reece James's leg. It's going to be a corner here to Ghana. Thank you very, very much, Hugh, for the £10 super sticker. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, they've got a corner here. Saying that, England have only had one, with all the sustained pressure we've had, we've only had one corner, and one of the main reasons for that is because we've not been shooting. We've not been shooting, we've not been crossing the ball into the box very much. Ball comes into the box, headed away by Konza. Decent header by him, but it's not all the way out, and now Reece James lofts it very high up in the air. Bellingham goes for the header, headed away though by a Ghanaian defender. And Ghana pick up the ball once more. Hi Archie, I did show you a comment. I showed you a comment before about your channel and shouted you out. I don't know if you missed that, but yeah, I did. But there you are. There's your comment on screen. And I think I put the other one on screen before. There you are. Thunderbolt UK 2.0 is Archie's channel if you want to go and follow him. Here's Konza. Now Rice. Gay. Doesn't look like we're going to get that goal before half time that's going to set us up for the second half, but it's a good ball towards Bellingham, and that's going to be an England corner kick. A chance here. I don't think you've put it in the chat, Archie. That's the only problem. You've not put anything in the chat, Archie, about that. Yeah, I've scrolled all the way back through the chat, Archie. I don't think you sent that one. I mean, to be fair, Karen might not have been aware that this was on. Well, the World Cup, yeah, but not the watch-along. 6 minutes added onto this first half, by the way, but Declan Rice about to take this corner kick. One arm up. Delivers the ball towards the penalty spot. Headed away. And Ghana absolutely hoof that clear. Jed Spence. Oh, no, he's going to leave it for Pickford. Pickford picks it up near the halfway line. 3 minutes, of course, for the... 3 minutes, of course, for the water break. And... 3 minutes for the injuries that occurred during that first half as well. Namely, Ayew and Reece James going up for that header together. Here's Jed Spence. Down the line now for Gordon. Jed Spence was decent when he played for us in the Championship. Obviously, he got sent home in the end, but from what we saw, from what little we saw of him, he was decent. But I'm not sure what Tuchel's seen in him to be a starting left back at the World Cup. I don't think he's that good. I think he's top-end Championship, low-end Premier League. I would rather have Bogle. Here's Bellingham. Good touch from him, but it's going to be a goal kick in the end. Yeah. Ghana goal kick there. Struggling here, England, to break down Ghana. It's going to be a difficult one. My God, I am perspiring. That goal kick finds its way all the way through to Pickford after being guided to him by Reece James. Here's Konza. To Bellingham and then straight back again. I think I can physically see the England players getting frustrated, you know. I think I can see them getting annoyed at the lack of options and kind of looking up, and you'll have midfielders like Rice and Bellingham dropping in. Oh, good ball here to Kane. Kane's in the box. He goes to shoot. It's blocked by like 4 players. Off the bar. What? Why did he... Oh, maybe it's... I don't know, but yeah, 3 or 4 players flung themselves in the way of that. But you can see the midfielders dropping in to pick up the ball and getting frustrated that there's just no options for them. Rice then with the corner kick. Corner into the box, front post, headed away by the first man. Shocking corner. That was a foul throw by Rice. Spence. There you are, Archie. I'll put that on the screen. Very sorry to hear that, mate. Thoughts are with you. Here's Madueke coming towards the box. He just overruns himself because 4 players took the ball off him. There you are, Archie. It's not hot, Penny, where they are. It's not hot at all in Boston. It's been raining there all day. It's a mild temperature. And, yeah, they said it's like there's no need for a hydration break. It's like perfect football weather. Here's Asare. The Ghana goal. His clearance is not too convincing. Ayew left one on Anderson there, but nothing given. Hi, has... yeah, not quite. And I do keep nearly saying Leeds, but... Partey getting rightfully booed by the England fans. Oh, I hate that scream. I'm glad that the referee didn't blow up for that. Oh, he will now. Bellingham is a little bit late on Apoku, but Apoku, you could hear him on the microphones go, "Argh!" It's like, come on. Oh, yeah, there's no way that that's a screamy challenge either. It was just like a shoulder across the body. Like, he'll get himself a yellow card, Bellingham, but... I must say, by the way, don't be expecting me to be screaming like I do for Leeds when we score a goal, because I don't really have much reaction when England score. However, I think as we get... Well, that's the end of the first half. I think as we get further through the tournament, if we get further through the tournament, that I think I am more likely to get excited about scoring goals and stuff. Like if it's like the semi-final and we score in the 90th minute to go to the final, yeah, I'll be fired up for it. But I think in this moment, it's a group stage game. I'm not that bothered. I don't even watch international friendlies. But yeah, there seems to be a bit of pushing and shoving on the pitch now between a lot of the players. There's a lot of frustration creeping in, and I can see why. I'm going to go downstairs and fill up my water bottle with cold water, and I'll be back very, very shortly. So don't go anywhere because I won't be long. But I am, I am rather hot, so I'm just going to cool down a little bit, and then we'll come back for the second half very, very shortly. So don't go too far. Hit that button if you're new here, which I imagine we might not be any new people, but I'll be back very shortly. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Clive. Welcome. Hugh saying Boston prefer the Irish than Scots to England. We need an LUFC playing for England to up the game for me. Yeah, well, look, in a few years, I mean, look, if Wales had have qualified, we'd have had a few Leeds players to support. I've been looking out for our other players. Tanaka played 90 minutes, but that was like at ridiculous AM in the morning, so I couldn't watch that one. Goodmanson, I don't think, had a great outing in his most recent game. Okafor can't get a game to save his life when he's much better than Vargas and Ndoye. And then, of course, you've got Aronson, who's not really had that much of a look in either. Yeah, look, see, I actually must. Sometimes I get imposter syndrome a bit, like I always talk about football, don't I, on here, and talk about the way that players play and tactics and things like that. But I must actually know a little bit about what I'm talking about, because they're saying the same thing that I was saying, that they need to be more direct, the wingers. They're the problem, and if they go further, more direct, get to the byline, cut it back, there's more chance of getting something against a low block. And I was saying before, Clive, as well, if England do score, even if it's a fluky, a lucky goal, whatever it is, it gives us a chance to see what Ghana do in that situation, which is more likely that they'll have to come out and try to get a goal to get a point. Hi, Andrew. Welcome. Yeah, I've got 2 videos out about that, Andrew, as well as there's the Harry Wilson video and there's a Julian Brandt video that came out today as well. And tomorrow there's a Nico Elvedi video coming out, and then the day after that, which I haven't made yet, I'm going to make a video about Shea Charles as well, who's been rumoured for around a 20 million bid from Leeds to Southampton at the moment. So I've had a little bit of a look into him, but I need to make an actual video about him. Yeah, they're just talking about how frustrated a lot of the England players are looking, and I do think they are. They do look very, very frustrated at the moment. Could be a very interesting summer. And England. Well, look, I mean, that's very reactionary to say that our England overrated. It's that Jed Spence did not shake hands with Thomas Partey, so good on him. 7. Thomas Partey is going on trial next year. 7 counts of you-know-what. Assault of a certain variety, which I just don't want to say on YouTube because YouTube's weird for doing stuff like that. But like, yeah, good on you, Jed Spence, for not shaking hands with him. How are fur babies? Well, to be fair, I mean, I don't know if I ever said on the channel, but unfortunately, our little dog, she passed away last year. It's almost going to be about a year now, and she was only 7. So, yeah, she got ill, unfortunately, so she passed away. I don't think I ever said on the channel because I just didn't... I don't know, I didn't feel like bringing it up. But, yeah, both the cats are okay at the moment. They're just chilling downstairs where it's a bit cooler. No, actually, I haven't had a haircut in about... Must be about 2 years now. I just styled it slightly differently today. Thanks, Andrew. Do you know what? I think that I'm just seeing the trailer thing for the Dear England or whatever it is. Now, what I think they did was the guy who plays Gareth Southgate he's in Handmaid's Tale and stuff like that. He's actually what's he called? Ralph Fiennes' his brother. And I think they've looked at it and gone, he looks a lot like Gareth Southgate when we dress him up, and thought, okay, let's make a documentary. Whereas the actual, or a kind of thing like that, the rest of it looks terrible. That series thing, dramatization, shall we say? Thanks, Penny. I don't think it has really, Clive. I think it's just because I put it up all up, whereas I've put half down, half up. Hi, Karen. Welcome. Evening, Max and everyone. Sorry, late in. Visitors just gone. How's everyone doing in this heat? Well, I'm about to pass out, but I hope everybody's okay. Yeah, I'm rather hot at the moment, but I've gone downstairs, put some ice in my bottle, and filled it up again. So I should be all right a little bit now. Do you know what? As it's half time, let's get a bit of the fan on me as well. As we said before, this is fan cam now. Yeah, they're just talking about whether they're going to make any changes. I think I'd like to see some half-time changes, to be honest. I actually would like to see them pretty much immediately. I think the substitutions... I know, we've got a few people in the chat now. Obviously, it's not as much for a Leeds game, but as much as what we get for a Leeds game. But as long as the stream doesn't end with like 20 views, it's not so embarrassing. Because obviously when we stream Leeds games, we get quite a lot of people in, and because the channel's got like 11,000 subscribers nearly, if end of stream and it's got like 50 views, then people will be looking at it like, what the hell's happened to this guy? But no, we're up to nearly like 300 views now, with people dipping in and out. I don't remember 1976. Andrew, it was 21 years before I was born. Alan Shearer's just asked Micah if his suit came from Hugo Dross. He's always got to have some sort of comment, hasn't he? No, I don't, Clive. I was -1. I don't remember 2002 either, because I would have only been 4 or 5. I don't remember 2006 very much. I remember 2010 a little bit. Obviously 2014, 2018, 2022, but... I'd like to see some players come in first, though, Karen. Otherwise, we'll be we might be struggling. Andrew's story there. I wanted that kit. Mum refused, as it's white. It'll get dirty. She got me a red and black one. My dad sent it back to Grattan's, which I've never heard of, and went on a company trip to avoid her for a week. Ooh, Ollie Watkins warming up, by the way. Potentially putting an extra player on the back line of Ghana. I don't necessarily agree with Micah Richards there, though, because he's saying when you're talking about players, like Watkins is a good player when you're running in behind, which... Totally agree with that. He is. But in a situation like this, Ghana don't really leave too much room behind because they're not playing a high line. They'll sit back on the edge of the box and there isn't that room to run in behind, really, which we've seen before. Dan James kind of adapted his game, to put it into a Leeds perspective. Before Dan James kind of adapted his game to be able to cut inside from the wings and cross the ball in, he was pretty useless when a team was playing with a low block. Reece James and Madueke are having a good conversation there. I'd like to see some substitutions. One of them to be Thomas Partey substituted from this game into jail. But other than that, some England substitutions. He'll hope that what he said has made a difference first, though, Tuchel. The instructions that he's given, and I imagine he's given them some instructions of especially what the wingers have been doing. That's it. Underway here for the second half of CB saying I remember 1776. Rice. Jed Spence now. Good ball from him into Declan Rice, who looks at the ground as if he hasn't just been a complete donkey and knocked the ball out. Ball forward. Cut out there by Reece James. Long ball from Gahey out to the wing. It's not a great pass, really. So unchanged for both sides as we go into the second half here is Jed Spence. DJ Ed Spence. Gordon fouled there. Here's Konza. Spence now. Back to Gahey. Was the 76 World Cup Mexico? Because that rings a bell. Anderson. With the ball out to the left-hand side. Well away again by Sinea. Back heel by Spence gives England a throw-in. Yeah, you're right, Karen. But I think I'll be getting stressed out if we get through and we're in one of the latter stages against one of the better teams. I'll be more stressed out watching that. But at least it won't be as frustrating as this, watching England have to try to break them down. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Spence. He's wearing like a jaw brace. Semenyo. Good tackle by Jude Bellingham, who's had to drop back to right back. Well, Harry Kane's just immediately given it. All that hard work, and Harry Kane's immediately given it back to Semenyo. Here's Anderson as he plays the ball forward. Bellingham tries to play it down the line. Nothing's really connecting at the moment. Good tackle by Gordon on Sinea, but this time it goes out for a throw-in. Thomas Partey rightly getting booed as he tries to carry the ball forward here. Hopefully he makes a horrendous mistake that gives England a goal. I was going to say Leeds again then. Sanea was in there, but a good block from the England defence. Since 2021, Archie. So, January 2021. So, about 5.5 years. Which, oh, God, that feels like a long time. I mean, I hit 10,000 subscribers. I was very happy with that. But when you consider it's 5.5 years, it's it's not as much of an achievement. Yeah, Jed Spence it was actually who got the block in there from Sinea. Good work from him. Oh, the thing is, we don't need to see 86 replays. Like, the ball's gone up the other end of the pitch by the time we've got back to the action. Madueke is winning England a throw-in. Careful, Andrew. Someone commented on my transfer video from the other day when I said I was 28 and said, oh, I thought you were 33, 34. I thought, cheeky sod, keep it to yourself if you think that. I don't look that old, do I? If I do look that old, don't say. But if I don't look that old, then say. Here's Spence. Anthony Gordon. Bellingham. Drops that one back off to Mark Gahey now. Gahey fouled by Sibo. Well, happy birthday for Monday, Hugh. Although, to be fair, there'll be another England game before then, but then I don't know if I'll stream it or not. Wow, Andrew. Yeah, I see what you mean, Clive. Yeah, I like a bit of everything in terms of music, to be fair, CB. There's, yes, I have a very eclectic taste. I mean, 1 minute I'm listening to Fleetwood Mac, and then the next AC/DC, and then the next something really modern, so... Here's IU. Semenyo tackled there by Elliot Anderson. Ah, thanks, Karen. Jed Spence got elbowed in the face when playing against Chelsea. Can always rely on Karen to come up with the facts. Corner to Ghana. Referee didn't give the ball. Didn't give that corner there. To Zip World in Wales. Yeah, it was Reece James trying to keep the ball in, and it got overturned because they didn't originally say it was one. Ball into the box. It's gone through everybody there. It's out to the back post for Iñaki Williams. Sanea puts the ball back into the box. Pickford is fouled there, and it's going to be a free kick to England there. Yeah, offside, foul on the goalkeeper. There'd have been multiple reasons to disallow that goal if it had gone in, but it was a foul on the goalkeeper. Anderson, fouled there by Ayew. Free kick to England, just inside the England half. Here's Rice. Been a bit of a slow game, this one, but this might spark it to life. Ball to Bellingham, who gone down, but he ran into a Ghana player. Not much behind that. Yeah, it's just BBC iPlayer, so it must be Anderson fouled again there, but it must just be BBC iPlayer, Clive. Behind the, behind the satellite. Not satellite, you know what I mean. Terrestrial. Yeah, there's no way that was a foul on Bellingham. He just ran into the back of them, but he's Madueke. Crosses it in, but aimless. Aimless. He needs to come off, Madueke. So does Gordon. I'd be swapping both wingers in this situation. Yeah, look, substitutions are needed because even with the halftime team talk, Madueke Madueke, Spence, Reece James, and Anthony Gordon, none of them are doing what they are told at halftime. They don't seem to have changed anything really, so I think they need to come off. New wingers need to come on with new instructions. It's changed a little bit because Ghana have now started to get a bit more of the ball, but it's still massively England's possession. Here's Mark Gay. Good back heel by Gordon to Spence. Spence inside to Rice. Now Bellingham on the edge. Pokes it to Madueke, who shoots. Deflected and headed away there. Spence still trying to get the ball there. Gone back to Gordon. Anthony Gordon shoots. Straight at the goalkeeper. Straight down his throat. Able to catch it there. Yeah, that was better. They were a bit more stretched that time. All of the shots that we had in that move were tame, but it was a better move in general to create those opportunities. But yeah, poor in the end. England free kick now. Yeah, they're just too slow. Ball down the line there to Rice. Rice has gone back to Kane. Now Spence. Madueke chests it down. Tries to get there on the other side of it, but it's going to be a throw-in to England, not a corner. Apoku managed to avert the corner, divert it for a throw-in instead. Konza, Rice. Ooh, tackle there and not been given as a foul. And Iñaki Williams is storming through the right-hand side here. Jed Spence has done well to get back and stop him, but it's a good ball back into the midfield. No, it looked like a free kick. That's given every day in the Premier League. Yeah, I mean, look, in terms of Calvert-Lewin conversation, if he was called up, he'd be very good in a game like this because you just want him playing on the last man. You want the ball dinked into him, and you want him to be able to. You just want him to be able to go and win headers in the box. Gordon. He needs help from Jed Spence here, and he's not getting it. Bellingham. Chipped ball, headed away. Again, tame pass. Not much whip on it. Not much power in the cross. It needs something more. It needs a bit of sting in it to get past the defence. Gordon takes on his man, does well, but gets fouled there. It's going to be a free kick to England, which is essentially a corner where it's been done, but it was a poor tackle by Sanaya. Anthony Gordon is holding his leg here, and it looks like Sanaya's getting himself... Oh no, it's Iñaki Williams that's getting the yellow card in this situation. Yes, he just... It's not intentional, but he just scrapes right down the back of his Achilles there, Anthony Gordon. So I think Inaki Williams might get sent off, you know. If VAR have noticed that, he just covered his mouth to talk to Anthony Gordon, which we've seen Miguel Almiron got set a straight red for that. I think VAR have missed that. If that's the rule and that's what you're enforcing, VAR have missed that. Ball in, headed by Anderson. There's a few England players claiming for a handball, I think, but it's going to be a corner. Yeah, Rice plays it towards the back post. Anderson peels off, heads it. I think it goes straight at the chest of Kibo. It was there. Sibo, sorry. He's called Quasi Sibo, so it's K Sibo. So Kibo. You can see where I got confused there. Looks like Ghana might make a few changes in a second. However, this corner's going to come in first from Declan Rice. Still not been taken, by the way. Ball into the box. Headed by Anderson. Anderson wiped out, but just pure strength according to the referee. Over the top. Goal kick. I'd like to see some subs from England. We're in the 62nd minute now, so... Good header by Anderson. Now Gordon. Gordon. It's going to be in England. No, it's not. It's going to be a Ghana throw-in. Gordon can't believe it, but... Oh, Anderson's won it back for him immediately anyway. Oh, Kane fouled there, according to the referee. Yep, he has been given. By a man who should be in jail. Free kick in a dangerous position for England. One might refer to it as Rashford territory. However, he's not on the pitch, but they could bring him on to take this as his first contribution. Actually, it's... I mean, it probably is Rashford territory with the way he hits the ball. However, it's a bit further out than that. Reece James and Declan Rice over it, who... Look, Declan Rice scored those two fantastic free kicks in the Champions League, but he's not particularly actually that good at free kicks. I hope I'm wrong and he bends this in the top corner. However, this is a little bit Anton Stack against Villa, but closer in. But no, he's crossed it. Away by Ghana. Elliot Anderson. Gordon. Back across the box. Over the bar by Madueke. Yeah, not very good there. I'd like us to make some substitutions here. Look, to be honest, when you're looking at Nico O'Reilly's season versus Jed Spence's season, Nico O'Reilly should have been starting this game anyway. Maybe he's trying to save him for the other games, but O'Reilly will be coming on for left back surely for Jed Spence, especially because, judging by what the commentators have been saying, Jed Spence has been being screamed at by Thomas Tuchel for the whole game, essentially. Yep, Abdul Fatawu is coming on for Leicester, as well as Prince Adu. Well, look, Urenki's got blood all coming down his face. It was an unbelievable free kick. Yeah, Saka seems to be coming on as well. I'd have preferred Rashford over Saka, to be honest. Yes, Saka's good, but this season especially, I don't rate him as highly as what other options we've got on the bench. Yeah. Those two are the ones that are getting ready at the moment, which it could be for Madueke over on the right-hand side, but he might just be replacing that entire left flank. Urenki is still bleeding at the moment. No, so Gordon's off for Saka and Jed Spence for O'Reilly. Yeah, so it looks like, unless Madueke is coming out onto the left-hand side, unless Saka's going out onto the right-hand side and Madueke is coming out to the left-hand side, it'll be the two substitutes down the left-hand side. Iñaki Williams coming off. Yeah, they're taking quite a long time to do these substitutions when they have to be off within 10 seconds. I think that this should be pulled up and the substitution shouldn't be allowed to come on for a minute. Yeah, look, it's... I think they've taken too long over the substitution and not been penalised for it, when the rule is that if you don't come off within 10 seconds, you have to... The substitute can't come on for a minute, which gives you an incentive to get off, but they didn't do it then. Yeah, so I was right. Saka's gone down the right and Madueke's gone down the left. Ball over the top here. Pickford's in no man's land there. Pickford might get... Oh, the referee's given it to England there, but VAR may look back at that because Pickford was caught in no man's land there. He's onside the Ghanaian striker. Ball comes through. Pickford. See, I think Pickford, as we would call it, shits out of that challenge where he just backs off and doesn't go for it, and then he wipes out the Ghanaian player. I think if I was a referee and I wasn't biased towards England, I would say that's a red card for Pickford. I think he's a lucky boy, Pickford, there. Because he backs off and he doesn't go for the ball and then wipes out the Ghana striker by basically body checking him. I think he's lucky. O'Reilly. Across now to Konza. Now Reece James. Apparently Leeds have got their eye on players who are still at the World Cup, by the way. So one of those mentioned was Wanahi for Morocco. James Trafford, of course, for England. Here's Kane, shoots! Saved there by Asare, down to his left. I think if he'd have gone with his right foot, or tried to go near post and lift it a little bit, he might have had a better chance there, but keeper's done well. Foul there against Konza, but England have taken the advantage. Anderson. Konza. Yeah, look, I mean, Declan Rice and Harry Kane, you could throw a blanket over them at the moment, but moved away now. Here's Madueke. Across now to Gay. Now Konza. Saka now. He's had to go all the way back to Konza there again. Here's Gehi. Shout out to Ankalima12 for the £5 super chat. Thank you very much. I'll make sure everybody likes that. Ball into the box. Poor header there by Saka. The Super Sicker, sorry. So actually that means you can't like it. But yes, thank you very much anyway. Yeah, Madueke's ball across the box headed away, headed poorly by Saka. But realistically, you're not looking for Saka to be the one that the ball goes to there, are you? Hydration break now then for 3 minutes. Chance for Tuchel to have a conversation with his players here. It's been better in terms of chance creation this second half, but we've still not really had anything clear cut. You just need to see a bit more from those wingers, because that's where we're going to really get through. You know, the other thing I've noticed in this game is a lot of the time when a top team is playing against a team who are lesser or are going to sit back and defend, you look at the situation, and usually you'll have your two centre halves on the halfway line, and you'll have your double pivot, or whoever's playing in that midfield will be sat in front of them. We've seen it so many times in the Championship with, let's say, Ampadu and Tanaka, and every time the ball gets recycled, it comes back out to Ampadu and Tanaka, who then try and play the ball forward again and try and open up those opportunities. In this game, England are so pushed on to Ghana's back line that Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson are almost part of that final third attack, and they're almost playing on the last man, which means that Konza and Gehi are having to be those players who are the metronomes that keep the ball going and keep the ball moving. However, neither of them have got the passing range that a Declan Rice and an Elliot Anderson have. And I think that sometimes can hinder us a little bit, because we've got so many players on the back line. They are going to all bring back their defenders and sit across their own box and pack that area with as many players as possible, which means it's an even more difficult job for players like Konza and Gay to play any kind of cutting pass. Whereas if you sit back, if you kind of pull back a little bit more towards the halfway line, there's more space for all of the Ghana players around there, and you draw them out a little bit more, hopefully creating a little bit more space behind, and then you get the likes of Elliot Anderson and Declan Rice on the ball trying to play through the lines with their passing range that they have. I just think we're almost a little bit too far forward. However, I never changed the thing when the other lineup thing happened. However, Rodgers is coming on. So Eze and Rodgers are on. I don't know what number O'Reilly is. We'll check now. Hold on. Anderson came off for Eze. There you are. There are all the changes now properly on there. 3 a.m. kickoff here. Wow, Hugh, that's commitment. Here's Morgan Rogers. Tries to cross the ball into the box. He's won England a corner. Declan Rice looking to put that ball in the box now. Declan Rice's corner. Ball bobbles around. Back to Madueke. It's going to be a goal kick, I think, to England. To Ghana, yeah. They weren't able to keep the ball in play there. Oh, I remember Asamoah Gyan, that he's just mentioned on the commentary. Played for Sunderland, didn't he? Wasn't a bad striker, actually. Ball forward then from the goal kick. Away by Gahey. Kane starts to chase down. That's going to go all the way through to Asare. Oh, get up. I mean, Kane put his shoulder in on the defender, but he's rolling around like he's been shot. And now he's stopped the game. This is ridiculous. Oh, come on. He ran across his path. He ran across Kane's path and then dived to the floor like he'd been shot. He's had a really good game as well, Sanea, and he's let himself down there. There's no way that was a free kick. Asare's kick long there. Wonder how old Asare is, because he looks like he's about 50. Well, yeah, you. Declan Rice. Poor pass from him to his club teammate, Bukayo Saka. Long clearance here from Apoku, headed away by Reece James. Well, it's been quite quiet, Ryan, so there's not been too much to worry about. Madueke, ball down the line here for Eze. Good feet from him, but then the shoulder by Fatawu, who's not been given as a foul. Good ball through. Edu's forward here. That's going to be a penalty. It's hit his own player and gone wide, but I think that's a penalty. Unless he's offside, VAR will check that. Oh, offside. I don't think he was offside. And Gahey has fouled him. Or is it Konza? It's Konza. Konza fouls him. No, Konza didn't do well reading the touch. Konza fouled him. That's a penalty to Ghana, it should be. If that wasn't offside and I was a VAR, he's fouled. Konza dived in there and didn't get anywhere near the ball. Good, thanks, Ryan. Hope you're all right. I'm assuming you were talking to me. Oh, wait, no, maybe you were talking to Karen. Oops. Here's Eze. Plays it across now to Konza, who, again, like Pickford, is a bit of a lucky boy. Here's Eze. Back to Konza again. Madueke out on the left here, as far out as he can get on the wing. Now Gahey again. This is what I'm talking about. Gahey and Konza are having to be the ones who try to thread a pass. Declan Rice is helping them out now, but you can see the frustration here because Konza and Gahey aren't capable of the type of pass that needs to be made here, and they seem to be the ones who have to keep playing stuff forward. There's offside against England there. I can see England are going to get more and more frustrated. I can see this game ending 0-0, you know, which obviously puts us on 4 points, but it also puts Ghana on 4 points. So head to head, we'd both have the same results, but we'd be top on goal difference because that's now the second. You say that, but there is a Yeboah that plays for Ecuador. I think he plays for Venezia in the Italian league. Here's O'Reilly. Saka. There was no contact on the ball, but he wiped out the man. Is Madueke. O'Reilly. Gahey. Knocked out to the right-hand side for Saka. Saka's done well to go past Mensah, and then he's been pulled back. It's a free kick to England. Yeah, he just grabs hold of him there, Mensah. Yeah, he did has, but I'm saying that there is a current Yeboah that plays for Ecuador. Is it Ecuador or Colombia? Colombia aren't even in the World Cup, are they, this time? Don't think anyway. I disagree, Clive. I think if it wasn't offside, I think it was a rash challenge to make in the box and could have been a penalty. Saka then over this free kick. Rice has walked away from this one, but he is still in a space where he could receive it. Cross into the box from Saka. It hits the first man again. First man after the wall, but still. Oh, come on, that's poor. Thomas Christiansen's the Paraguay manager. I didn't know that. Dave Hockaday was mentioned on this stream before as well. Well, say on this stream on BBC. Rashford is coming on for Madueke. Strangely, I've liked Rashford more when he was at Barcelona. That's odd, isn't it? Free kick to England now. Is Gahey. Rashford's first touches of the ball here. Good ball down the line for Nico O'Reilly. He gets the ball past his man, but I thought he might have been fouled there. Pickford with a good piece of composure there to play the ball to Gahey. If only he was picked. Although, I mean, with his injury record, let's keep him wrapped in cotton wool. Here's Saka. Loose pass there. Going back to Nico O'Reilly, though. Rashford's ball. Oh, Nico O'Reilly might be able to get that. No, Fatawi's gone past him. And now Rashford's fouled him. Looking more and more like it's going to be a schnil, this one. Long ball forward, headed away by Gahey. Don't really know what that was from the Ghana right back. Here's Rice. Now Reece James. England coming over the halfway line again. Here's Nico O'Reilly. Rashford with a cross into the box. That was a decent cross. Headed away. Now Saka. Saka to the edge. Shoots! Good save by the goalkeeper. First proper shot that's made him make an actual save here. That should be a foul there, but it's not been given. England can play on. Nearly said Leeds again then. That was much better from Saka there. Rice with the ball forward. Ball to Kane on the edge. Now Rodgers. Back to Reece James. Cross into the box. Header off the bar by Nico O'Reilly. And Kane has sent the ball to Mexico. Kane had to score there. Harry Kane absolutely had to score. I think Harry Kane's a bit of... It's very reactionary of me, but I think Kane is a bit of a donkey for England at times. Why is he hitting it that hard? And why is he sending it to Rosed? He just needs to tap it into the top corner there. Just caress it in. That's really poor from someone of his quality. He's probably had his best season ever. I mean, Kane objectively is world class, Clive. Don't be ridiculous, but that was poor. Ghana have made another substitution here. Sanea is off. And Opong is on. Sanea, who'd had a really good game against Gordon. England have come close now, but not close enough. Here's Pickford. Now Rashford. Rashford's ball is a good one to Saka. Oh, he's done really well to win England a throw-in. How can you say you don't like the World Cup? I've watched as many games as I can. Obviously some of them, but Nico O'Reilly's just given the ball away. Urenshi tries to play the ball forward now. Declan Rice is going to be able to stop that there. Ooh, late challenge there, but gets the ball back here. Here's Kane. Kane with the long ball forward to Rashford. Read, though, by the defence. Rashford. Gay. Now Eze. Declan Rice. Marcus Rashford. Crosses the ball in. Headed up, but not particularly away. Now away, and that's going to be a throw. That's going to be a free kick to Ghana here. He just won a header. He just jumped up and won a header. That's all he did there, Rashford, and they've given him a free kick. Nico O'Reilly's so unlucky, and then Kane, I just don't know what he's doing there. I just don't know what Kane's doing. Tuchel can't believe it. He's not in those pressure situations for country. He's not great, Kane. The penalties he misses in the big games, and 6 minutes added on, much like the first half. One last push. I reckon we get 2 more chances. One of them's got to be a goal. Mark Gay. Konza. Reece James. Bukayo Saka. Nothing given by the ref there. It's been some strange refereeing at this World Cup. Sometimes they really let the game flow. Sometimes it's like, okay, yeah, you're letting the game flow, but that's clearly a foul and you're not blowing up for it. Here's Rodgers. Declan Rice. His cross towards the back post is deep. It wins England a corner. See you, Harry. Corner about to come in here from England. Declan Rice to take. Let's hope it's a better delivery than the previous ones. Rice to take. Whipped in. It is a better delivery. Goes through everybody. What are you playing at? Shocking. Good delivery. England players just... Harry Kane just steps out of the way of it. Long ball forward once more from Ghana. Good header by Nico O'Reilly. Away, well, not really away by the Ghanaian defence. Here's Rodgers. Good strength from him. Good feet from him as well. He's still going here, Rodgers. Does well to get the ball to Rashford. Rashford tries to cross it. Another corner to England. Rodgers was great there. Rodgers was really good. Good strength, held onto the ball. And I know the game's opened up more now, but Rodgers has done a lot more than what Bellingham did for the rest of the game. A header from a corner here would be ideal. Ball in towards the box. Eze back across, flicked across, away off the line. It's another corner. Declan Rice with a chance to whip another corner in now. 3 minutes to go here. Corner about to come in. Once more from Declan Rice. Ball in. Another decent delivery. He's come for this one, the goalkeeper, and punched it away. I mean, he's a big lad, and he comes across and he punches it away. Hearts of Oak is the team that their goalkeeper plays for in Ghana, the leading club side, apparently. Not claiming that's my information. I've never heard of them. Although, to be fair, I probably don't think Guy Mowbray had until he did his research. Declan Rice. Headed back across by Rodgers. Away once more by Apoku, and it's going to be a throw-in. Yeah, I just saw that, Clive. It's kind of disturbing, actually. Good ball across to Eze. That's going to be another corner to England. I think England have just decided that they're just going to whip corners in and hope one goes in. Thing is about Ghana, they've got a big backline and a tall goalkeeper, so they are decent at defending these set pieces. However, you only need one to fall to an England player. You only need one. Declan Rice then again stands over this. Ghana are making a substitution. Prince Edu are coming off, who came on before in about the 60th, 70th minute maybe. And yeah, They've actually replaced a substitute. Ball comes in. Foul against England. Foul against Ghana there in the box. And it's going to be a free kick to Ghana. It's going to be 0-0. I'm glad that I don't do match reactions or anything for these as well, because what a crap game of football. Asare is going to clear this one. You still waste time, Archie. I don't know, Hugh. We'll have to give that a Google. Why are we going back to the goalkeeper at this moment? Pickford plays that one forward. That's the end. Leeds is still... Leeds. England is still at the top of the group, but... Poor, that. Seems like a bit of a waste of an evening, to be honest. Well, a night. But he's a York fan. Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for joining me. I appreciate the support for those of you loyal fans who joined me even for a 0-0 England-Ghana game. Look, England have drawn. It's not the end of the world. But look, everybody gets to go to bed now. I'm going to go and put a fan on my face. So, look, there's a video on... Well, there's a video on Harry Wilson that's already out. There's a video on Julian Brandt that came out today at 12, if you haven't seen that already. There's a video on Nico Elvedi coming out tomorrow. And there'll be potentially a video on Thursday coming out about Shea Charles from Southampton as well. So, yes, plenty of transfer content to look out for on the channel. Thanks everybody so much for joining me, and we'll see. We'll see whether we do another one for the next game. I mean, it's Panama, so we might see some more goals, but typical that I picked this game to live stream. 0-0. Thanks everybody for joining me, and I shall see you in the next one. I think we were poor tonight. There was many things that I said that we could have done better. Didn't seem to implement many of them. Poor in the end. Thanks for watching. Thanks everybody for joining me. Nice to chat to everybody on a live stream again. And I shall see you in the next one.